Length of business establishment positively impact ICOMS. This means that the length of business has a negative but insignificant effect on ICOMS comprehension. Based on the analysis result above, the hypothesis conclusions are as follows. The last education level positively and significantly impact the perception of entrepreneur regarding the importance of bookkeeping and financial reporting. Then, educational background negatively and significantly impact the perception of entrepreneur regarding the importance of bookkeeping and financial reporting. Business science negatively and significantly impact the perception of entrepreneur regarding the importance of bookkeeping and financial reporting. Length of business establishment negatively and significantly impact the perception of the entrepreneur regarding the importance of bookkeeping and financial reporting. Then, the hypothesis found for the second analysis are as follows. Financial report quality positively and significantly impact the amount of bank credit received by micro, small, and medium enterprise. Business size positively and significantly impact the amount of bank credit received by micro, small, and medium enterprise. Then, length of business establishment positively and significantly impact the amount of bank credit received by micro, small, and medium enterprise. Credit amount positively and significantly impact the amount of bank credit received by micro, small, and medium enterprise. Then, credit negatively and insignificantly impact the amount of bank credit received by micro, small, and medium enterprise. That's all for our presentation today. I hope this presentation has given us new insight. Thank you so much for your attention. See you.
Okay, thank you for Mrs. Stefania for the presentation. Now we enter to the Q&A session. Maybe for all the participants here that want to ask the question for Mrs. Stefania, you can raise your hand. Anyone? Anyone? Okay, if there is no question, I will ask for Mrs. Stefania. Mrs. Stefania, you can hear me? You can hear me, Mrs. Stefania?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, maybe I will have the question. Yeah, thank you for the presentation anyway. And yeah, this is very interesting research here about the problem in small medium enterprises related with bookkeeping. But I have some questions. The first one is, one of variable that you use is the educational background. But when I see that you use the two variables, the last educational background and educational background, why you differ the variable to come into the two variables, education and last education? The second one is you use the purposive sampling. What the criteria that you use to get the sample that used in this research? You got the question?
Not clearly, sir.
Not clearly? Okay. Okay, the first one is you use the two variables that related with the educational background, right? The first one is last educational background. The second one is educational background itself. Why you differ this variable? The second one, why you differ? Why you separate this one become the two variables? The second one is related with the purposive sampling that you use. What is criteria that you use to get the sample in this research?
Apa kriterianya? Kok pakai purpose sampling?
Yes, yes, yes.
Because I don't know IMKM in the area kampus Tembalang and Banyumane. Dan I have not data and tidak terdata.
Unvalid data.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, like you choose like in Tembalang and Banyumanik, maybe they have some characteristic or something that becomes the interest of you to do the research in that area.
Yes.
Yeah, or something that may be related with the condition of small medium enterprises or something, because you don't study about this one. And okay, maybe it's okay. The second one is about the variable. You use variable as education and educational background, right? And this is very interesting. Why you differ this variable become two variable, not one.
I think last education significant in IMKM comparison and according last the same journal and according last exam reset.
Okay. Okay, thank you very much for this stigma and have a good day.
Thank you. Thank you for attention, Mr.
Thank you very much. So we move to the next presenter is research from Mr. Wihanda Sotia Pamungkas and Mrs. Arni Sarwati. So I will play the video.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I want to present my research with Arni Sorwanti. The title is The Consequence of Investment Opportunity Set in Strengthening Investment Policy on Profitability in Indonesia. Abstract. It's not read. Introduction. This study was driven by inconsistent results of previous studies. It showed that investment cash flow had a significant positive effect on profitability. However, investment cash flow also had a significant negative effect on profitability. Meanwhile, investment cash flow was found not to affect profitability. Next slide. For this reason, this study aims to find empirical evidence of the effect of investment policy as measured using investment cash flow. Investment opportunity set strengthening investment policy, institutional ownership, and firm size and profitability. The difference with previous research is that investment opportunities strengthen investment policy. Hypothesis. Hypothesis 1. Investment cash flow has a positive effect on profitability. 2. IOS has a positive effect on profitability. 3. IOS strengthens the effect of investment cash flow on profitability. 4. Institutional ownership has a positive effect on profitability. 5. Firm size has a positive effect on profitability. Research sample. The population in the study was manufacturing companies that had gone public before 2011. The sampling technique was the purposive sampling method. Measurement variable is not read. Analytical data. The hypothesis testing in this study used multiple regression analysis of panel data to choose the appropriate method, namely the fixed effect or random effect method. The Hausman test was employed. Hausman test result indicating that the method used was a fixed effect. The fixed effect method requires the classical assumption test, namely the heterostaticity and the autocorrelation test. The heterostaticity test result using the Glasser method showing no heterostaticity. The autocorrelation test result using Darwin-Watson indicating no autocorrelation. Result. The investment cash flow did not affect profitability. The investment opportunity set positively affected profitability. The IOS strengthened the effect of investment cash flow on profitability. The institutional ownership positively affected profitability. The firm size positive effect profitability. Discussion. This study, the company at the time of investing had not been able to generate profit as expected. Also, the company could seek investment opportunities, so by IOS to have a significant positive effect on profitability. The companies in determining investment policy must consider IOS. In other words, IOS or investment opportunity set can ensure investment policy to increase profitability. In other cases found that IOS had a significant negative effect on profitability. It can be explained that the larger the IOS, the greater the information asymmetry. Thus, the cost of supervision increase so that profit decrease. Therefore, for IOS to increase profit, it requires close supervision by institutional investors, particularly pressure intensive. Furthermore, the percentage of institutional ownership was 71.72, and in the finding, there was a significant positive effect on profitability, indicating that institutional investors could supervise management so that profit increased. This increase in profit was also influenced by increased sales, product diversification, and production cost efficiency because the company could work on economical scale. Conclusion. The investment cash flow did not affect profitability. The IOS had a significant positive effect on profitability. The IOS strengthened the impact of investment cash flow on profitability. This finding also indicates that the company must be able to see investment opportunities when investing. The IO had a significant positive effect on profitability, and size had a positive effect on profitability. In this case, institutional pressure-intensive investors have an essential role in overseeing management so that the company can increase sales and produce at an economical scale, thus increasing profitability. Limitation. This study used a sample of companies in the manufacturing sector. For this reason, further research can add to the sample of companies operating in all sectors except the financial sector. In addition, this study employed a sample of companies in 2020, where at the beginning of 2020, the COVID-19 pandemic occurred, which could reduce profitability. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay, thank you so much for Mr. Wihanto for the presentation. So we enter into the next to the Q&A session. So any one of you that you have the question here? anyone that want to ask the question for Mr. Wihander? No? Okay. Okay, Mr. Wihander, and yeah, this is very nice presentation and very nice research as well. And regarding with the investment opportunity set, maybe I'll have the question for you because you know that maybe many people use their iOS to as the variable in this research, and from your finding that we know that iOS is have the negative impact on the profitability because you said that the greater asymmetry information that may happen in manufacturing industry. So related to your finding, maybe have some suggestion for maybe on the company or maybe for the investor that want to invest in the company, so they can consider what the result upon the return that they want to achieve.
Okay, Pak Akbar, the iOS can impact because there is and then
needed and the type of skill to particular job. Hockman and Oldham hypothesis my article. The first hypothesis, job characteristics have a significant influence on workplace spirituality. The second hypothesis, job characteristics have a significant influence on environmental sustainability. The third hypothesis, workplace spirituality have a significant influence on environmental sustainability. The fourth hypothesis, workplace spirituality mediates the influence of job characteristics on environmental sustainability. Research model, look at this my slide. Method, my paper of sample and procedures. The study used a question to obtain data from 71 employees at a fuel and gas distribution company in East Kalimantan with purposive sampling techniques where employees work for at least 1 year. The questionnaire are distributed electronically using an online application called Google Form and through social media such as WhatsApp and Instagram. The final sample used our analysis consists of 66 males and 5 females. The participants, which range from 25 to 47 years, and they have an average of 10 years. Method or measures. All substantive variables were assessed using a 5-point Likert type scale from 1 strongly until 5 strongly disagree until 5 strongly agree. Workplace spirituality dimension include inner life, meaningful work, community. Workplace spirituality was measured scale by Asmos Dukon 2000. The scale series the scale of series of 16 descriptive items. Workplace spirituality had a Cronbach alpha score of 0.842 in this study. The dimension of job characteristic are job identity, job significance, job varieties, work autonomy, and feedback. Job characteristic were measured scale by Hockman and Oldham. The scale contained a series of 15 descriptive items, and job characteristics had a Cronbach alpha score of 0.673 in the study. The sustainability model is based on three pillars: economic, social, and environmental. Khan et al. The dimensions of environmental sustainability are economic, social, and ecological, and measured by Khan et al. Result. The first hypothesis result is supported. The statement job characteristic affect to workplace spirituality. And the second hypothesis not supported because job characteristic is not affect on environmental sustainability. The third hypothesis is supported. Workplace spirituality affect on environmental sustainability. The fourth hypothesis is supported. Job characteristic supported. Workplace spirituality mediates of the job characteristic affect on environmental sustainability. Conclusion and recommendation. Increasingly high level of spirituality of employees in the workplace increases environmental sustainability both at the economic, social, and environmental level at the PT Mighty Petro or Gas and Fuel Company in East Kalimantan. This makes it easier for employers provide higher benefits, can increase the significance of work in carrying out activities, and is in finding the assessment expected by employees. Implication. The implication of this study when that awareness of the importance of employee job characteristic to maintain environmental sustainability at the fuel and gas distribution company in East Kalimantan. An organization needs to help employee understand job identification, the significance of the work being done, the variety of employee jobs in meeting organizational demands, job autonomy for assigned tasks, and feedback of work from the result carried out by employees. Thank you for my presentation. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I back to moderator.
Prof. Heru, your voice is still mute.
Is it my voice is clear? Is my voice clear, Audin? Hello? Hello? Is my voice clear?
It's clear.
Yes.
Clear.
Yes,
Okay.
clear, yes.
Okay. Okay, Bu Rini, are you here?
We really not respond, Prof.
Okay. Okay, I think it's a interesting article, yeah. Job characteristic in this research has no impact to environment sustainability, yeah. But basically, this is has impact through workplace spirituality, yeah, as a mediation variable. Yeah, I think actually this is if someone asks job characteristic has impact to environmental sustainability. Yeah, I think yeah, this is has impact, but through the mediation variables. Yeah. Okay. So do you have some feedback for this video? Yeah. Bu Isto, maybe Bu Isto. Hello. Are you happy? Bu
Very
Isto?
happy.
Okay. Bu Vera? Sorry, Bu Vera, can you introduce yourself? I
My
see
name,
you in the first time.
yes, my name Vera Firdaus. I'm from Muhammadiyah University, Surat-Darjo.
Oh, Sidoarjo.
Yes.
Yeah. Several years ago, I taught there.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, thank you, Bu Vera.
Thank you.
Okay, no? Hello, Bundari, how are you?
Hello, fine. I'm fine, Prof.
Okay, do you have some feedback for this presentation?
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, Heru, if there's no question from another participant, maybe
Okay.
I can raise the question to Burini.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. We still have 3 minutes. Yeah. Maybe we can discuss everything. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, based on the result of the findings, Burini in her research conclude that jobs characteristic has no significant effect on
environmental sustainability.
Environmental sustainability. So the question is, can this no effect explain more detail why job characteristic has no impact on environmental sustainability? Because if we read the concept of, for example, the concept of Heckman, job characteristic is very influential factor on every situation.
Okay. Have you read this article, Mr. Udin?
Yes.
Oh, you read this article? Okay. I mean Burini article.
No, based on the presentation of Burini.
Oh, I think you review this article. Okay.
Oh yes, I reviewed the paper of Burini, and she is the candidate of the best paper in this conference.
Yeah. I have some view about this, Mr. Udin. Hello, Mr. Udin.
Okay.
Yeah. Even though job characteristic has no impact to environmental sustainability, it means the role of workplace spirituality as a mediation is strongly full mediation, I think, in this case. Yeah. So actually job characteristic has impact to environmental sustainability through workplace spirituality. Okay. Okay, Bu Meika, hello, good morning. Okay.
Good morning,
Yeah.
Prof.
Okay. We have 1 minute, yeah? 1 minute for discussion this session. Do you have some feedback for this article?
No problem.
Okay. Okay. Okay, because this is the sub time, yeah. So we have three articles. I think this is the interesting articles. Pak Udin, have you present today? Belum ya Pak Udin? Oke, Pak Udin. Oke, share the video. Sorry. Saya kira udah selesai tadi.
Wabarakatuh. How are you all? I hope you are well, and this time is time for having happy. And today I'm going to explain you about my research, my study entitled Leadership Styles and Innovative Behavior by testing the role of work engagement. And as we know that in the current global economic, it always change. And every organization has many challenges. And the organization always need to appropriate more suitable leadership styles to get competitive edge and to enhance employees' innovative work behavior. Many studies have been conducted, and the leadership styles have proposed by many researchers, such as spiritual, servant leadership, virtuous leadership, and so on. And based on the fact that leadership styles, the most prominent, the most significant leadership style conducted in the organizations is transformational and transactional leaderships. And when some studies try to link transformational and transactional leaderships on innovative work behavior, there are many gaps. For example, in the study of Donkor in 20 and 21, they conclude that transformational leadership and transactional has a significant effect on innovative work behavior. But the study is in contrast with the finding of Gemeda and Lee. They revealed that transformational leadership significantly affect innovative work behavior, while transactional leadership has no effect on innovative work behavior. And the finding of Alhead et al. 2021, they concluded transformational leadership positively affects innovative work behavior, but transactional leadership has a negative effect on innovative work behavior. So based on this contradict studies, I would like to reevaluate this relationship by paying attention to employee engagement as a mediator. Because when, in my opinion, when the employees love their work, they will be motivated, they will be invest their time, power, and energy to support and to perform innovative work behavior. Okay, based on the review of literature, I tried to make a summary of innovative work behavior is a container of generating ideas, promoting ideas, and realizing ideas in the organization to perform better performance. Work engagement based on the concept of Becker and Scafioli, they define work engagement as a cognitive affective motivation that individual has at their work. Work engagement also specifies as an optimistic pleasure categorized by dedication, absorption, and vigor at work. So when someone more engaged in their work, they will have power, they will have high motivation to invest their time, their energy, their power to the successful of their work. And in leadership styles, in terms of transformational leaderships, is a style of leader where the leader try to motivate the followers to get beyond of their expectations. So based on the inspiring of the leader, of the transformational leaders, the employees move to the general or common goals with sacrifice their self goals or self-interest. In contrast to the transformational leaders, transactional leaders is a style of leaders that the leader make interchange relations in which a leader rewards subordinate, rewards followers with services and mutual agreed. The employees do their jobs, do their work based on the agreement, what reward and what punishment should be avoided. Next, the study actually conducted in stone mining companies located in Central Java. 200 questionnaires distributed to all employees, but only 107 questionnaires are written and suitable to be analyzed. And the data is analyzed through structural equation modeling based on the SMART PLS 3.0 version. Next, based on or after analyzing the data, the result show that all of hypotheses are supported in terms of transactional leadership on innovative behavior and work engagement, transformational leadership on innovative behavior and work engagement, and the last is work engagement on innovative behavior. This study proposed 5 hypotheses, and all of hypotheses are supported. It means that when the leader in organization tries to apply transformational leadership, he or she can engage, can inspiring employees to work better and to invest their time to generate innovative behavior. As the same with transactional leadership, when a leader make a contract, a clear contract to the employees about reward, how much or how many, and about the punishment, what punishment should be avoided by employees. If the agreement is more clearly, the employees will engage, will invest their time, power, and energy to support, to do their job better by exploring, promoting, and realizing their innovative ideas at their work successful. Okay, actually, the study concludes that transformational and transactional leadership positively affect our engagement and innovative behavior. In addition, these findings also reinforce that work engagement plays a mediating roles to the link of transformational and transactional leadership on innovative work behavior. Based on the social
to Paudin, yeah. Paudin still join?
Okay, I'm here, Prof.
Okay, based on your research, can we conclude that transformational or transactional is more powerful to explain the outcome based on your research?
Yes, I think not only about my findings, all of the researchers, when they try to investigate the styles of leadership impact, they conclude that transformational and transactional is most dominant to increase the outcome of the organization.
And which one more dominant in this research?
based on my research and based on another research, more dominant is transformational leadership.
Transformational. But are you sure that you can generalize this in the other context?
Yes, I strongly convinced, Prof.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Pak Udin ya. Okay, thank you all of you, all participant.
Thank you, Prof.
Okay. Let's we go to the second session ya.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. That's all for the parallel session 1. Stepping on to the following agenda is parallel session 2. The breakout room already prepared. Ladies and gentlemen, here it is, parallel session 2. Thank you.
influenced by several things, such as taxpayer awareness and by several things like the existence of tax sanction. It can be explained that taxpayers will comply with their obligation to pay tax depending on how the officer work in providing service. Uh, Awareness does not only depend on optimal service, but also lies in the right data processing system. Then, for all taxpayers who violate existing provision and regulation, taxation will be given to create a different effect and be able to be better comply with the tax regulation in the future. This is there are two phenomena in this paper. It's number one is based on the table 1.1. We can see that together the PPBP2 tax contributes quite a lot to revenue from the regional revenue sector. For example, in 2017 it was 36 billion from 165 billion. If the percentage of eating is obtained a value, it's about 22%. From this result is there are two variables. Number one is taxation, and number two is tax awareness. Tax is defined as a contribute to the state that can be imposed, especially by those who are obliged to pay it according to regulation without getting any performance back, which can be directly appointed, whose purpose is to finance general expenditure related to the tax, the task of the state running the government. So tax are achievements that are unilaterally imposed by and out to the authorities according to the norms that are generally set without any contra-assignment. And another opinion is related to tax was expressed by Sumitra in 2001 and Evelia in 2011, which defines tax as people's contribution to the state treasury based on the law that can be enforced by not obtaining reciprocal services, which can be directly shown and used for public expenditure. From this method, there are object or subject studies. The population in the study is individual taxpayer who focus on the type of PPBP2 tax register and obligate to pay tax and bundle agency. And next, the type data for this research is the approach used in study quantitative with primary data. Primary data and study is obtained from required tax and employee BPKPAD in Bantul. Then technique sample is using method random sampling. It's about population taxpayer in Bantul district, individual taxpayer in Bantul district. And the last is the technique collection data. It's used to the method survey. The technique taking data use questionnaire. Next, for the result is used the test quality instrument. There are instrument quality tests, validity tests, and reliability tests. Then data analysis, descriptive, inferential analysis, linear regression, then classic assumption test, normality test, heteroscedasticity test, multi-connectivity test, and then test hypothesis and analysis data, a-value test, the-value test, or partial test. Then the last is coefficient of determination test. And this is we talk about the result. First is the test data instrument validity test. Based on the table, so variable appear accurate text, penalty text, quality surface, understanding text have here question with scoring significant more small from 0.05. And next, it's about the description statistic test result. From this data, we can conclude that Descriptive research is research conducted to determine the value of independent variables and the one or more variables without making comparison or connecting with other variables. The table above shows descriptive statistic of the variable study. The following is a description for each variable. The taxation variable has a minimum value of 2 and maximum value is 5, a mean 4.50, and the standard deviation is 0.74. Then the taxpayer awareness variable has a minimum value is 2 and maximum value is 5, a mean 4.32, and the standard deviation value of 0.61. Then this is the classic assumption test. This test normality, and then multicollinearity test result, heteroscedasticity test, and multiple linear regression. From this data that we can explain that multicollinearity test aims to test whether the regression model found a correlation between the independent variable. Based on this table, we can explain that the tolerance number is more than 0.10 and VIF is less than 10, namely tolerance for the tax sanction variable of 0.995 and VIF is 1.005. Then is about the research result or hypothesis test. Test simulation F and test t-test, determination test or R2, and next we talk about the discussion for this research. It's so that the effect of taxation on individual taxpayer compliance. Taxation have a significant negative effect on the dependent variable of taxpayer compliance. This can be seen in the first point of the question. The question item is sanctioned in the SPT are very necessary. Also, the question item have a high mean value. The presence of taxation is considered to have not yet had an impact on taxpayer in bundle regency. In the other side, the effect of taxpayer awareness on individual taxpayer compliance can be explained that taxpayer awareness have a positive and significant effect on the dependent variable of taxpayer compliance. This can be seen in the first point of the questionnaire. The question item is the tax must be paid because tax are our obligation as citizen. This question item has a high mean value which is directly proportional to taxpayer compliance, which is influenced by taxpayer awareness. And the last, we talk about the conclusion and recommendation from this result. First, the conclusion is taxation have a significant negative effect on individual taxpayer compliance at the financial and regional asset agency of bundle regency or BPKAD. Especially in bundle district, taxpayers are not sure about the imposition of sanctions given which are located on the SPT. And this is uncertainty causes taxpayer compliance is not optimal. Taxpayer awareness has a significant positive effect on individual taxpayer compliance at the regional financial and asset agency of bundle regency. And then the contribution of our implication of the result is to provide evaluation result on the implementation of PBBP2 tax policy in bundle regency. Furthermore, tax socialization given to home and building owners can increase tax knowledge so that taxpayers understand their roles and responsibility as taxpayer. And a recommendation from this research is first, for the government as a policymaker is expected to be able to provide strict sanction issued, especially related to tax violation and other tax issues. Then for the BPKAD or the regional financial and asset agency, of Banner Agency the need to improve the modern tax administration system regarding the improvement of business process through the implementation of socialization to taxpayer. And the last, the suggestion is for the taxpayer. Tax is actually the obligation of every citizen who has the right to it. Taxpayer who orderly pay taxes will certainly have a positive impact on the development of the country. So taxpayers should be able to better understand the importance of obligation as citizen. Okay, I think that's all. Thank you for the chance given to me.
Yeah, because this is in company profit, yeah. So it exists, yeah. Implementation in electronic leadership.
Okay, thank you very much for Mr. Atika Awan Rasman.
This is because
Okay, maybe because maybe Mr. Atika is not present for today, there is no Q&A session, so I will move to the next video or the next presentation is from Mrs. Oni Rahmawati and Siti Maizatul Ahmad. So I will play the video now.
In our hypothesis.
More than 29 minutes. Okay, that's the presentation of Puspa and her team about human security studies in digital finance phenomenon. So all of the participants, if you have any question, you can address the questions. But Puspa Devi still ready to share and to answer your questions.
May I have question, Pak Udin?
Okay, Bu Fauzia.
Yes, Mbak Puspa, I have a question according to the plan of your research. Is it qualitative or quantitative research? And then if you use qualitative research, so you have to plan according to the validity of the research, such as triangulation, for example. Okay, and you use triangulation, so what do you plan for the next? Is it according to the methods or maybe the source of the data, maybe? Yeah, I think the important thing is according to the validity of your research. Please tell me about the validity of your research. Thanks.
Okay, Puspa Devi, you can directly answer the questions.
Okay, thank you for your question. I can answer the question. In my research and team, to analyze quantity and quality, and then validity, interview and we can confirm my questionnaire in the respondent, and then analyze if interview maybe.
Sorry, Bu Fauzia, sorry. Your voice still mute.
Oh, yeah, thanks. Okay, so maybe you have a different method, the data, with the maybe open questionnaire, and then you give the questionnaire to the respondent, maybe. Is that like that, Mbak Puspa?
Excuse me, may I answer that question? I apologize for my turning off my video because I am on the way to a hospital for giving a birth. The questionnaire actually have been given to the respondents, and this is like a closed questionnaire because the answer only yes or no, something like that.
Okay, thanks, Mbak Puspa.
Okay.
Okay.
Is there another participant to raise
This is me, Dwi Ardianti, actually. Sorry.
Yes, okay. Thank you. Is there any question from the participant? Okay, the next question is from me. But I want to hear about your analysis in human security studies. When you research, after you conduct a research, for example, having data from interviewing the people or distributing the questionnaire, in your finding about human security studies in Makosid Syariat perspective, what's your findings?
Okay, thank you. This is the international relations study, actually, the human security. We have 7 concepts in human security, and basically we discuss the personal security and economic security because the fintech financial technology actually have so many things to be discussed in personal security and economic security. And the Makassar Syariah, we discuss about the Hifzul Mal, that highlighting about the how we manage the property and actually how the governance realm that the management security system in financial technology in Indonesia actually having been very well designed, and the Makassar Syariah highlighting the need of people to do their economic activities. First of all, we discuss about the how the people can actually easily connect it to the financial technology application in social media. And secondly, we discuss about how the management system, if the people easily attracted to the application of loan in the fintech, in the social media, what is the basic need that they are attracted to those application? Is this for the premier need or maybe tertiary need? If it is about the attraction to the social need or maybe to the what is it, like phenomenon for we discuss about the lifestyle, something like that. That is why people mostly connected to the misuse of data personal. In the Bangkok Syariah, in Hifzul Mal, if people want to fulfill their basic need, they will perform like, is it very crucial for fulfilling, or maybe it is for tertiary need or something like that. But it's like if we are easily to fulfill the lifestyle, something like clothes, fashion, something like that, then we will attracted to those loan application, and we will face the misuse of data, something like that.
Okay, thank you very much for your insight, very insightful answer. Okay, move to the next questions. Is there any participant who can solve the questions or enough? Another participant? Okay, no question. Thank you, Mrs. Dwi Ariani, Miss Puspa Devi. Thank you very much for your presentation, for your answer. The next presenter will be Muhammad Samsuri and Mrs. Ika Nurul Komari. Okay, time is yours.
Assalamualaikum and a very good day to all. I'm Muhammad Shamsuri bin Mat Saad from University Technical Malaysia Melaka, Institute of Technology Management and Entrepreneurship. Today, I'll be presenting about critical HR issues in organizations and important HR practices and skills, some insights from HR executives in Yogyakarta. So my outline of presentation would be as we all know, we are facing rapid changes in the environment. In terms of HR, there are a lot of issues that we need to grapple when we talk about HR and the changes that is taking place in the environment. Among those changes are workforce diversity. We're looking at, people are coming to the workforces, from different backgrounds, from different ethnicity, from different experiences, and all this add to values to the what we call organizations and the company. Then we are talking also about the economy and technology changes. Indonesia is expected to be one of the superpower, in terms of technology and whatnot. Then we're also looking at globalization, which is actually not a new thing, but in terms of Indonesia, investors are coming in, and the investors are actually pouring or investing in Indonesia, and this also impact in terms of the organization structure. Instead of having the traditional organization structure, we are talking about flat organization structure, hybrid organization structure, and then the nature of work. We talk about gig economy, we talk about working from homes and whatnot, and then last but not least, we're talking about crisis and pandemics. Recently we have, for the past 2 years, obviously we have the Cold War between America and China, and all this impact HR tremendously. Look where the practitioners and the nature of HR have to evolve, taking into account all these rapid changes. But the problem is that there is actually a big gap between what the theory says and what is actually happening in the real practice. So these are some of the issues that this study would like to actually uncover. What are the gaps in that, and then the literature also points to there are much that we need to know in terms of what have changes taking place, or what new practices are actually being introduced, how people adapt to these changes. And last but not least, it is actually important to understand within the context of Indonesia, when the country is actually trying to evolve and trying to actually compete with the a big superpower in terms of the economy. So all this provides an interesting avenue for us to actually look into the critical issues of HR in organizations and whatnot. So this is actually the context of the study. And amongst the research objectives, to uncover the problems, we would like to actually investigate the HR issues relevant to organizations, critical HR roles, important skills for practitioners and graduates, and substantive HR knowledge important to their performance. All this encapsulates, the crux of our objective in terms of uncovering, the phenomena, particularly in Indonesia, and focusing in what we call organizations around Jakarta, which is actually the second largest city in Indonesia. So we deployed survey looking at three critical issues: HR issues relevant to organizations, critical HR roles, important skills for practitioners and graduates, and substantive HR knowledge important to their performance. And respondents wise, we managed to actually get 255 respondents to assist us in terms of getting the early data. And basically for this presentation, I will actually present descriptive analysis looking at the main score of items that we asked at the survey level. So this is actually something that we will actually try to share with the audience today in ICOMS. If we look at the HR relevant organizations, the three most important things about managing change, as I've mentioned earlier in terms of the introduction, rapid changes taking place in terms of diversity, in terms of economy, technology, and whatnot. So it is important for HR practitioner to actually be able to anticipate and manage all those changes. Because without having the ability to manage those changes, it can impact the organization severely. And then it is also looking into job satisfaction, because competing what we call interest and competing focus, plays needs to be actually managed properly, because looking at what we call the new generations of workforce, looking at Generation X, not Generation X, generation the millennials, Generation Z, and whatnot. It is actually difficult to actually pinpoint what makes them loyal and commit to organizations. So these are some of the HR issues relevant to organizations that we need to actually take into account. Next is actually the critical HR roles. Global skills are talking about communication skills, and as per graduates too, almost all the important skills or is actually about the people skills. So because HR deal with members of the organization, from what we call the top management to the lower level of member of organization, it is very important for HR practitioners and graduates and last but not least, in terms of substantive HR knowledge and important to the performance, there is a need to create a recruitment program, write a job description, complete cost benefit analysis, so that it contributes to the performance of the organization. This is, there are a long list, but you can see that some of it, I know that scores above the grand mean is important for HR practitioner to actually be giving attention to. So as a creating recruitment program, writing descriptions, and doing complete cost benefit analysis are among the most substantive with our knowledge. At the same time, this is very important for HR practitioners to and graduates to be aware of this kind of issues, so that they can perform in the best possible manner. So thank you for the presentation, and I welcome all the questions and answers from all, and also feedback from all, so that I can improve in terms of the research. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum and warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay. Next, time for question and answer. All of the participants, if you have any questions about the last presentation of this time, critical issues, critical HR issues in organization, you can address the questions.
Positively, significantly affect employee performance, transformation, positively, significantly affect job satisfaction, positively, significantly affect employee performance. Last one, job satisfaction mediates the effect of transformational leadership on employee performance. We developed this model to proceed on the next level of our research. Our research involved 427 permanent employees of PT Krakatau Medica in Cilegon, Banten, Indonesia. And we applied some criteria to select the respondent or targeted sample, which is they have to be permanent employees who have worked for at least 1 year, because we want the sample of the targeted respondent has sufficient work experience to assess the leadership style and feeling the job satisfaction. So okay, there are 3 variables that involved in our research. You can see that we took from Bass and Folio for transformational leadership, while job satisfaction and employee performance we took from Robbins and Judge concepts. We did validity and reliability tests to ensure that the the tools that we use is valid and reliability, and alhamdulillah the significant value less than 0.05 for validity, and the Cronpa alpha also more than the minimum criteria 0.07, meaning that valid and reliable. Okay, so the result, again, the number of population 427. We use Google Form to send the questionnaire because we cannot reach the targeted sample directly. A total 373 completed questionnaires were returned to us. However, we found that 118 questionnaires didn't meet the research requirement. For extent, not permanent employees or permanent employees but haven't reached 1 year of work. So we only able to analyze further 255 questionnaire. This is still good number, 68% of the response rate. Okay. Data was analyzed using structural equation modeling, or SEM, and there are 7 stages that we proceed. And the result, yeah, you can see the model test using SEM. If we look at the picture, we are sorry that the picture is not clear, but you can see in the table from 7 of index, we meet, or the result meet 5 indexes. Yeah, so it means that we can proceed the analysis to the hypothesis testing. Okay, so the hypothesis testing result, you can see that hypothesis 1, 2, and 3 are significant or are accepted. You can see from the probability value less than 0.05. We can also see from CR. So it means that all hypothesis 1, 2, 3 positive and significant as stated. And we test the hypothesis 4 by comparing the standardized direct effect and standardized indirect effect. You can see that the two variables show a value of 0.143 for direct effect, less than the indirect effect, which is 0.493. We saw that job satisfaction mediates transformational leadership style on positive employee performance. Meaning, while the direct effect also significant, but the indirect effect has more or greater than the direct effect. So we conclude that the transformational leadership has a positive effect and significant to employee performance and also to job satisfaction. And job satisfaction has a positive and significant effect on employee performance. And we found that job satisfaction mediates the influence of transformational leadership on employee performance. The limitation, we have not have full access to, or we don't have full access to respondents due to the company policy. This is also have to be considered for next researchers. So as a result, the answer yes is very likely to occur. Similarly, because we collect data based on respondents' perception, meaning that self-report bias is likely to occur as well. The last one, suggestion, we recommend that the next research have to maintain a good the object has to maintain a good transformational leadership style as evidenced by a high score, yeah, because it impacts to job satisfaction and also employee performance. And future research can adopt this research by involving more variables that are adjusted to the research context. And researchers' access to respondent is one thing that need to be considered. So that's all from us. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, Bu Mega. We have 3 minutes for discussion, and I think very good presentation. And I think this is mystery, yeah, mystery related. Is leader has impact to performance, yeah, because if we connect the Bu Sri Handari research about e-leadership, I think e-leadership, Bu Ika about e-leadership. E-leadership is established is a support system from organization. So is a leader or support system like e-leadership has a dominant effect to job performance. Yeah, yeah. I think it's very interesting for our discussion. Okay, audience, do you have some feedback about this or question? Mrs. or Miss Diah Yunita, ya?
Mrs.
Oh, Mrs. Okay.
Miss
Diah Yunita.
Miss Besti.
Okay, do you have a question maybe?
Odin, maybe because you have same topic in terms of leadership.
Yeah, right.
I do need more insight from others.
Okay.
Okay, thank you very much.
Pak. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, this directly move to my questions. My question is about when the transformational leader inspire employees or inspire followers. Is follower pay attention to their material or immaterial vision to follow or to join the leader's vision.
What's your mean material vision, Mr. Udin?
Material vision, I mean is external motivation such as pay, wage.
Yeah.
Immaterial like intrinsic motivation in the work itself or another factor.
Okay, thank you, Pak Udin. Okay, Bu Mega, maybe in my point of view, external or extrinsic reward like that, near close to transactional leadership concept, I think. Transactional leadership context, but I don't know. Bu Mega, maybe do you have some explanation about this?
Okay, so the term transformational leadership that we studied refers to more not on material context, because in the research background we argue that type of leadership who are motivating, giving inspiration, and especially this is in the early of COVID. So there is or there was a big need for employee to get more attention from leaders. So this is the concept that we brought to this research. So not in terms of the material or what is like something that the countable things that the leader can give to the followers, not like that, but something that more inspiration, motivation, something like that. That's our argument, Pak Udin.
Okay, thank you, Bu Mega. Okay, Pak Udin, do you have feedback for Bu Mega?
Okay, enough, Prof.
Okay, thank you very much, Pak Udin.
Thank you, Pak Udin.
Okay, thank you, Bu Mega. And because time is over again, yeah. So let's go to the last, the last video.
The last
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. It is an honor to have an opportunity to explain our presentation of research about the effects of the work-life balance and job
The sound is not clear. Maybe not
happiness as an independent variable. Study at Petefam. Industry startup Banten. First of all, let me introduce our team. First is Mrs. Istofina Astuti SAMSE, then myself, Dianita Price TSA. Introduction. The background of this.
Cili, suara-suaranya Cili.
Yeah, the voice is
Not clear.
The study or this research is high demands from companies on employees that cause pressure coupled with the COVID-19 situation. The boredom and difficulties that arise from work and work from home disrupt the balance of roles and time management of employees, where they have to complete work and also still have to carry out their personal lives. Happiness is an important priority in every situation. Happiness can have a positive impact on the activities we do. Job stress can have a negative impact on employees by reducing morale and a sense of enjoying work. The state of the employee self, which is full of negative things, will also have a negative impact on his performance or the employee performance. At Petrochemicals Industries, there is also a similar phenomenon where employees feel a lot of stress due to high work demands and often feel unable to control personal time and time to do work. The roles they perform are overlapping. And the following questions will be addressed in this study. And for the logical thinking and hypothesis, the following are the logics are as derivatives of the hypothesis in the study. And this is the research model, and based on the research model above, the hypothesis proposed are as follows. First, work-life balance has a positive effect on work happiness. Second, work happiness has a positive effect on employee performance. Third, work-life balance has a positive effect on employee performance. Fourth, job stress has a negative effect on work happiness. Fifth, job stress has a negative effect on employee performance. Sixth, work-life balance has an effect on employee performance through work happiness. And last, job stress has an effect on employee performance through work happiness. For research methodology, as for the sample of this research were all the employees of the production divisions of Petrochemicals Industries, totaling 125 respondents and uses census sampling as a sampling technique. For analysis tool, this research uses SPSS version 24 software with path analysis as an analysis technique. And for the instrument used in this research is questionnaire. The questionnaire has been chosen as the primary source of data gathering. The items on work-life balance and are based on Fisher et al. 2009, while items on job stress are based on Jamal and Baba 1992. Then items on work happiness based on Price Jones 2010. Meanwhile, items on employee performance, which is this research-dependent variable, are based on Kiste et al. 2010. The results of this study, first, multiple regression test results of work-life balance and job stress on work happiness, which work-life balance variable obtained insignificant results with a significant value of t is 0.073, and job stress variable obtained significant results with a significant value of t is 0.013. But with the value of t shows a positive result, which is the opposite to the hypothesis. Second is multiple regression test results of work-life balance, job stress, and work happiness on employee performance, which work-life balance obtained insignificant result with a significant value of t is 0.889, and job stress variable obtained significant results with a significant value of t is 1.001. And last, work happiness variable obtained significant results with a significant value of t is 0.000. Next is Sobel test results for work-life balance. The Z value shows the result is 1.80, which is less than 1.96, which means that there is no mediation. And Sobel test results for job stress. The Z value shows the result is 2.51, which is greater than 1.96, which means that there is mediation. And the conclusions of this study are: first, Work-life balance has no effect on work happiness. Second, work happiness has a positive effect on employee performance. Third, work-life balance has no effect on employee performance. Fourth, job stress has a positive effect on work happiness. Fifth, job stress has a negative effect on employee performance. Sixth, work-life balance has no effect on employee performance through work happiness. And last, job stress has an effect on employee performance through work happiness. And for the recommendations, the following are recommendations that can be given by researchers to companies and future researchers. So that's it for the explanation of this presentation. Thank you, and wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, we have 3 minutes here. 3 minutes for discussion. Do you have question? Some question?
I have some question.
Okay, Mbak
Vera.
Mbak siapa namanya?
Vera.
Mbak Vera ya, Bu Vera, Mrs. Vera.
I'm interested the variable of this research is job stress, but your result is positive effect. Why you not use the eustress? Eustress is a positive perspective about stress in your research. If the result is a positive effect. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Bu Vera. Mbak Dia.
Okay, thank you for the question. So, first, why we choose job stress as a negative effect? Because the phenomena we capture around us and which more or less often occur in the company and employee environment. Job stress gives a lot of burden and negative impact to the employees. But after the data analysis, after the research we done research, these results shows that job stress has a positive effect, which supported by theory of conveyed by Robbins and Judge 2015, that it said that stress can also have a positive impact on employees. One of which is employees who likes challenge and feel motivated when faced difficulties and pressure. So based on this, the results of this research, when employees feel their stress level are increasing, they are even more challenged to deal with these pressures by doing their best as much as possible. So that when employees are able to deal with it, there's a certain kind of satisfaction feel, like they feel satisfied, that ultimately encourages positive feelings in the employee. So in the context of this subject in this research, the employees of PT Formkis Industries have a medium level of stress. So for them, this result is supported because the higher the stress felt by employees will be followed by an increase in employee happiness. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mbak Diah ya. So you refer to U-shape terminology ya.
Yeah.
And you operationalize the concept to variable, and then you enter in your questionnaire ya, about that ya.
Yes.
Make consistent ya between concept and variables. Okay, thank you very much. I think the time is over. So we see you again in the last session, yeah, the next session. Okay, thank you very much.
Udah leave breakout room.
Thank you, Prof. Edu.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. That's all for the parallel session 2. Ladies and gentlemen, after this we will have parallel session 3. Before we continue, let's take a break for a while and see you on the next session. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, let's start for the parallel session 3. Still the same with the latest parallel session. For parallel session 3, all of the participants are invited to the breakout room that already divided. Thank you.
Hello, good morning to all conference participants. Can you hear my voice? Let me check the attendance first. Unams, I said, can you raise your hand? Bu Meika Pujirahayu.
Yes, present.
Ahmad Haulai. Ahmad Haulai. Muhammad Koshid Al-Hadi. Muhammad Koshid Al-Hadi, can you hear my voice? Azmawati Muhammad Nur. Next is Vera Firdaus. Are you join the meeting? Vera Firdaus. Eni Diah Novitasari. Eni Diah Novitasari. Satrio Sudarso. Can you hear my voice? Okay. Next, the event will be led by chair session for Mr. Heru. Time is yours.
Welcome to session 4 ya. Okay, are you still happy ya? Happy, enthusiastic? Okay. In this session, we have 4 papers. The first, Mrs. Meika Kurnia Puji Rahayu and Mrs. Fitri Maulidah Rahmawati. And the second, Mr. Ahmad Hulaifi et al. And then Mrs. Asmawati Muhammad Nur et al. And Mrs. Vera Firdaus et al. Okay. Okay, the first video from Bu Meika.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you for the opportunity for us to present our research results entitled Technology Readiness and Acceptance Model for Evaluating the Use of Online Teaching Platform After 1 Year Outbreak. Meika Kurnia Pujirahayu Dianggreni, and my team, Fitri Maulidah Rahmawati, will present to you our research result. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 outlines. Start from research background, and then will be end with conclusion and suggestion. The COVID-19 pandemic has changed the face of the world with various policy and system reforms, including in the education sector. The Indonesian government, in particular, established an online method for the learning process while the COVID-19 virus hit Indonesia. The use of online platforms in teaching and learning is inevitable. An interesting issue is the use of online learning technology in educational sector has not been maximized. Based on Rahayu's research in 2017, showing that only around 30% of lecturers integrate online technology in their lectures. Even if they have used online technology, lecturers have not used it optimally as part of the teaching method. Most of the lecturers still use the online platform as a place to store lecture materials only. The urgency of the research is that the integration of
online technology into teaching and learning process is important for improving the quality and excellency of the teaching and learning process. However, the fact is that the lecturers are not ready yet for the integration process. Thus, a study of readiness in the use of online technology among lecturers is necessary. Information about the level of readiness of lecturers in using online technology will contribute to the development policies or strategies. Our theoretical background will present that technology readiness model measures the enthusiasm of personnel to accept information technology in their workplace. The most widely used definition of technology readiness is the concept offered by Pasuraman, 2000, which defined technology readiness as the tendency of people to use technologies to achieve goals in life. It is an individual psychological state that shows how prepared an individual is for the acceptance of the technologies. Pasuraman measures a person's readiness to use technology from 4 indicators or dimensions, consists of optimism, innovation, comfort or discomfort, and security. Optimism is the belief of someone who believes that technology provides better opportunities to exercise control, increase flexibility and efficiency in their lives, while innovativeness measures a person's tendency to be a pioneer in every aspect and form of their life. These two factors are referred to as drivers because they increase person's tendency to adopt technology. Meanwhile, the two inhibiting factors are discomfort and insecurity. The first is the perception that one cannot control technology and end up becoming a slave to it. Meanwhile, the second is pessimism that technology can do its job well as expected. The research design, the object is the private universities in Yogyakarta and the subject is lecturers. The number of population is 1,617 lecturers, and we used convenience sampling since the researchers have no direct access to target sample due to distancing policy. Primary data was gathered through online questionnaires, and we analyzed the data using descriptive analysis method. The respondents obtained were 152. This is less than 10% from populations. This response is still below the target of the population, among the population. Respondents are dominated by lecturers aged 40 until 55 years old, and the majority of respondents have used e-learning platform for the lecture process. And another platform they use include Microsoft Teams, Zoom, Google Classroom, and more than 50% of respondents stated that e-learning is useful in giving lectures. This is the example of the platform that the respondent use. Okay, this is Microsoft Teams. All right, so when we calculate or analyze the technology readiness index among the respondents, the results show that the optimism and the discomfort reach a high score, while innovativeness and insecurity reach a low score. So we also analyzes what is the 5 categories of usage: explorers, pioneers, skeptic, paranoid, and laggards, based on Pasuraman and Kolbe 2001. Based on the drivers group, optimism and innovativeness, the classification results show that the respondents are a paranoid groups. Those who have optimism about the benefit of technology but feel hampered because of fear of security risk and technology incompatibility. This is also strengthened by our interview session that
some of respondents still feel not secure using online technology. Okay. It can be concluded that respondents believe that technology provides better opportunities to exercise control and increase flexibility and efficiency in their lives, showing high optimism. However, the respondents do not have a strong tendency to be pioneer in every aspect and form of their life, low innovativeness. The analysis indicates that respondents perceive that they cannot control technology and end up becoming a slave to it. This is showing high discomfort. However, the respondents have sufficient confidence that technology can do its job well as expected. Low insecurity. This is very interesting because majority of our respondents, in fact, they have like believe that technology is important and technology is needed. However, they still feel fear or not comfort, insecure using technology. Based on the what is like interview that we conducted, we also found that some institutional policies have to be done. For example, providing like regular training for lecturers to adopt or to use online technology in teaching and learning. And also they have to be like monitor regularly to ensure that the adoption running well. So that's all our presentation. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, Bu Meika. This is not this is descriptive, yeah, Bu Meika, yeah, descriptive.
Yes,
okay,
yes.
okay, it's very good. Audience, do you have question about Bu Meika research? Bu Meika, can you explain the population? So you mentioned the profile of user like this and this.
My research.
Yeah.
Okay.
Population.
Excuse me, Prof. Are you interested in why I only describe or using descriptive? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I have guessed that I will get that question. And the whole complete of my research or our research is not only descriptive, but because I found interesting finding when we describe the statistical findings. So we deliver this result to this conference. Actually, based on our title, I forget to change the title. We did what is like we analyze the influence of readiness to the adoption of technology. However, after we run or we integrate information and technology in teaching learning, we surprised that we still have very tough challenges from the lecturers, and especially in Yogyakarta. Because the adoption or the use of technology in teaching and learning is not as expected. Yes, everyone now using like a team, my class at OMU we use my class, in learning in other university, but the main goals of the integration is has not reached yet. Because actually the main goals for using technology is not only delivering online, because we cannot meet directly, but we aim to improve the quality of learning and teaching as well. So yes, it is we only provide a description in this conference, but actually our research is not only description. From that description, Prof, we can capture a good insight and picture that we still has a lot of homework in terms of the integration of teaching and learning. You can see that the adoption, yes, the adoption is now is good. I mean the number of lecture who use technology, yes, everyone know know we are using that. But the quality of usage, you can see from our research that they still feel like how I have to use this, how I can use this. It will run good or well or not, so still fear and uncomfort and feeling not what is not secure still happen among the lecture. That our message from the result of our research.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. The last, who are you? Your sample. Who are you? Lecture in your research? Lecture in Indonesia or lecture in UMY or?
In Indonesia, particularly in Yogyakarta, particularly PTM and PTM.
Okay, yeah. This is
Yeah.
a very good feedback for us, yeah. For
Yes.
And we have to read your
Full
research, yeah.
Yeah,
full
result.
research, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, you are the one. You are the one who will supervise the report.
Oh yeah.
Thank you, bro.
Thank you very much, Mika. I think time is over, yeah. Let's go to the next video. Only 3 videos.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thanks to moderator and the Committee of International Conference.
In performing of their innovation, but it doesn't mean will be good in and meanwhile, the ombudsman also they have a sort of budget, so they're not continually or doing a kind of series survey for each year for each region or cities that can see the different time to time. So it's very difficult to make comparison between one city or one region to another according to the quality of public services. Meanwhile, for the innovation government, they do it every year. So it's easier to see the innovative government or cities indexing changes every year, then the changes the quality of public services, because the subject and also the locus is always different time to time from the ombudsman, because they have kind of sort of budget. So we can
10 seconds.
Yeah, we can figure out from this research that these two index is not really in line one to another. Just to show.
Finish, Bu Evi.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
3 minutes ya, bonus for Ibu Evi ya. Thank you, Bu Fauzia and Pak Punang ya for question ya. This is interesting research ya for innovation city ya. Okay, thank you Ibu Evi. We will to move second presenter ya, Ibu Nur Hidayah and Ibu Kurotul Aini and Pak Gofur Ahmad ya, with a title The Readiness of a Private Hospital Towards Smart Hospital Indonesia.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. The readiness of a private hospital towards smart hospital in Indonesia. My name is Nur Hidayah. I am from Master of Hospital Administration, Universitas Muhammadiyah Yogyakarta. Introduction. The widespread adoption of the Internet of Things has resulted in a significant evolution in every single field of human life from a technological standpoint, including the healthcare sector. A smart hospital is a term used to describe digitalized hospital that use automated and automatization IoT-based process. Smart hospital is industry 4.0 atau hospital 4.0 increasingly being promoted as the key to increasing productivity, flexibility, promoting economic growth, and ensuring industrial system resilience. Background problem: not all hospital units have been integrated with internet-based information system, except for online patient registration, emergency for pediatric clinic, neurology clinic, and billing system. The hospital management information system unit also does not yet have a specific strategic plan for the hospital management information system that is integrated with the hospital strategic plan. Research objective: to assess the readiness of private hospital in Temanggung, Central Java, Indonesia to become smart hospital by conducting digitalization internet-based hospital management information system. Novelty: an integrated management information system has become a strategy to achieve efficiency, effectiveness, and productivity in achieving the hospital vision and mission. Research approach: the research use qualitative research approach called a case study to get detailed information from the participant by conducting in-depth interview. Participant: resource manager, deputy of human resource manager, nursing manager, education and training, and assistant of management system. Data: the interview transcript were analyzed using analysis. Each research finding is categorized and labeling using coding analysis to generate a set common trend. The result of the research: the development of the hospital management system received a positive response from the hospital leader. Both hospital director and managerial director have begun to realize the importance of developing human management information system. Even the hospital also support the development of human research, human management information system, particularly from a financial standpoint. The development human management information system has not been carefully planned. It is still adjusted to the information system required by the hospital. Even the hospital does not yet have strategic plan for a hospital management information system that is integrated with the hospital plan. The result of the research, one electronic medical record outpatient unit, namely pediatric and neurology clinic, has been used electromedical record. Meanwhile, some polyclinics still use paper to write down the patient medical information. 2. Financial information system. The hospital does not yet have an information technology integrated financial information system. Often the financial report are still created manually. Hence, the financial information system is currently developed. 3. Accounting information system. The system has not yet been fully created because development time with vendor is very limited. Currently, the accounting information system cannot be entirely automated. Manually input is still required. 4. Human resource information system. The human resource information system has an human resource information system that can be used, input, and access human resource health data. However, the human resource information system has not been integrated into the employee performance assessment. 5. Billing system, payment and patient registration are two services in hospital that have been integrated with billing system. Payment services have been facilitated using electronic payment. However, there are still certain specialists who use non-electronic payment method. There are several patient registration systems implemented by the hospital, including online registration using the National Health Insurance application, self-registration, and registration using Muyasal application. Pharmacy information system. The pharmacy information system has facilitated system integrated medicine prescribed. The result of the research show that private hospital also facilitate telehealth service, namely medicine delivery that collaborate with online delivery service. Conclusion, the hospital have made effort to realize smart hospital by implementing a hospital management information system consisting of electronic medical record, human resource information system, billing system for registration and payment service, and pharmacy information system. Even so, the human management information system development plan as part of one of the strategic program in hospital strategic plan for 2002 to 2006. It would be better if the hospital had an hospital management information system specific strategic plan. This will result in a more systematic approach to better human resource information system planning and development. On the other hand, the accounting and financial information system have not been fully integrated with a system because they are still developed. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillah.
Thank you, Ibu Nur Hidayah. Very interesting for research in industrial era industry 4.0 era ya. All organization ya can implementation about digital service ya, and there is novelty and Bu Nur Hidayah research ya about smart hospitals ya, smart hospital ya. This is case study in what's hospital Bu Nur Hidayah PKU.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Salam. Case study in what hospital?
Maaf Bu.
Can you hear me, Bu Nur Hidayah?
Ya, ya. Ya, saya dengar.
Oke. Ini di rumah sakit PKU ya Bu Nur Hidayah ya?
Saya dengar, cuman saya nggak bisa nggak tahu apa yang harus saya jawab.
Ya ini di era industri 4.0 ya, ini semua organisasi ya, semua lapisan organisasi mungkin akan mengimplementasikan digital service, itu layanan secara digital seperti yang disampaikan dari hasil risetnya Bu Nur Hidayah ya. Ini kan kaitannya dengan integrated management system ya, tadi ada beberapa kaitannya dengan human resource information system, kemudian ada accounting information system, financial and so on ya. Nah ini tadi pertanyaan saya ini case study ya, case study-nya di rumah sakit mana Bu Nur?
Di rumah sakit Temanggung.
Oh di rumah sakit Temanggung, oke. Ya, memang idealnya kalau menulis itu objek penelitian disamarkan, tapi saya sudah berpersepsi karena Bu Nur sering sebagai pendamping ya di rumah sakit PKU. Ini saya pikir tadi di rumah sakit PKU, ternyata di rumah sakit Temanggung ya, Ibu Nur Hidayah ya.
Jadi saya belum bisa mengatasnamakan ini, soalnya baru beberapa hari yang lalu. Nggak bisa.
Ya, baik. Terima kasih Bu Nur Hidayah. Ini juga waktunya kita masih ada 2 presenter lagi ya. Ini ide risetnya Bu Nur ya. Ini sangat interested ya, sangat menarik ya. Ini case study ya. Case study itu juga merupakan salah satu metode ya, karena kita juga mengungkapkan hal-hal baru yang sudah dilaksanakan oleh setiap organisasi. Baik, terima kasih Bu Nur Hidayah ya. Selanjutnya ya, for all participant ya, we will to hear from Pak Punang presentation. Oke ya, Mas Yuda.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
I'm Punang Amaripuja, and I'm honored to present in this 8th International Conference on Management Sciences, hosted by Universitas Muhammadiyah Yogyakarta, Indonesia. I would be presenting an article, a paper on decision-making in the digital era, in search of a framework for the use of social technology. Now we have seen that during the COVID-19 pandemic, there has been lots of lockdowns. People have not been able to go out of their homes. People did not have a chance to work in their offices, and they were working from home. And this might be just a prelude of what might be happening in the future, because this might not be the first pandemic, but there might be more pandemics in the future. And in the long run, the practices of remote working may become a main practice of doing business, and this might be called a new normal. Now, it's also boosted by the attitudes and behaviors of digital natives, people that have been born into the digital era, the Generation X, the Generation Ys, the Generation Alphas. And thus, it is crucial to find the critical success factors and develop the best practices for the use of social technologies. And organizations should prepare the integration of these technologies in their business practices, especially in the process of decision making. Now, we have seen that ICT, that information and communications technologies, has emerged as the main enabler to support social technology, including, for instance, social media networking and teleconferencing. What is social technology? These are technologies, especially digital ones, used by people to interact socially and to together create, enhance, and exchange knowledge. Companies using these social technologies seems to be able to enhance operations, and they would be able to exploit new market opportunities compared to those that do not use social technologies. And in a recent survey, it seems that social network participation increasingly affects executive decision-making in companies, with 80% of respondents reporting that the decision-making process is accelerated by participating in online communities. Now, there should be a competitive advantage that we want to achieve by using these technologies, since it seems to be positively impacting the decision-making process and the process of making judgments. Now, the rationale from this perspective is that decision-making is actually one of the main functions of an organization. And in order to make decisions, the process of communications seems to be very essential in coming up with satisfying decisions, not necessarily optimized, not necessarily maximized, but optimized decisions. And social technology is very potential in increasing communications, increasing collaborations, especially between millennials and after that, who would be dominating the workforce. And social technology will, of course, obtain a more dominant role. It would be more used in organizational decision-making. Thus, we have to find out how it works. We have to find out what's the best way to use social technologies in an organization's decision-making. Now, we have to find this connection between social technology and decision-making, since the use of social technology would require changes in the organization, in its culture, as well as in its business processes. And thus, the organization also needs to make sure that the decision-making process is not hindered, and hopefully it's improved by the use of social technology. And the framework that we would be developing hopes to understand how fit affects social technology use, how viability affects social technology use, and how social technology affects decision-making performance. In this lit review, we would be first taking a look at the grand theory of bounded rationality. Now, we might think that people are rational, but it seems that's not always the case. And actually, that's usually not the case. Like mentioned by Simon in 1957, that most people are only partially rational. And in fact, they are basically emotional or irrational in the remaining part of their actions. Eisenhardt in 1992 also mentioned that people are rational, but only boundedly so. So only up to a certain degree, up to a certain boundary, and above that, people are actually not rational. So the notion of the existence of a perfect rationality is actually unrealistic. So that's how the term bounded rationality came forth. Now, because of those limits on cognition and limits on rational behavior, then people tend to achieve only satisfying decisions rather than maximizing decision making. Now, the process of satisfying decisions brings forth the need for searching information, because information is needed to make those satisfying decisions. Now, recently and historically, decision-making theories has become more and more elaborate, mathematical, and using lots of variables. And what we are trying to do here is to use a more individual approach towards decision making, and that's what we would like to find out. Now, communications is also very important for decision making because it's needed as a catalyst for social chemistry. It's also needed for coordination and control of group activities. And the processes of communication is also a prerequisite. It has to be there. It has to be available in the process of decision making. And our next variable would be talking about social technology. Now, this term has been evolving for quite some time. There was a term Web 2.0, Enterprise 2.0, Collaboration 2.0, Collaboration technology, social software, social technology, social information technology. But we would be using the term social technology because it has a more general connotation, and it has been more recently used. Now, social technology, as described by Chui et al., are digital technologies used by people to interact socially and for together being able to create, enhance, and exchange content. Now, this includes, for instance, wikis, blogs, social media, including direct messaging applications, including web conferencing, teleconferencing, and so on. And these technologies facilitates social interactions and influences social processes between a person and another person, between people. Now, from those considerations, we are proposing a framework trying to fit together between basically social technology use and decision-making performance. And as an antecedent of social technology use, there would be fit and viability. The first proposition would be that fit positively affects social technology use The second one would be viability of task would be positively affecting social technology use, and social technology use in the third proposition would be positively affecting decision-making performance. Now, how do we measure decision-making? It's by the indicators of how efficient the decision-making process is done, whether the participants in that decision-making process is satisfied with the process itself, and whether they are satisfied with the outcome of the decision that they made. In terms of social technology use, we would be using the use of social technology for strategic planning and for the implementation and operations of strategies. And in terms of trying to figure out the fit, it's about fit in the tasks used and fit of technology. And viability would be economic viability, the viability of the IT infrastructure, and the readiness of the organization to use social technology. And this framework would be very useful for organizations, for companies, for every type of organization in using the social technologies to enhance decision-making. Thank you very much. And wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay, thank you Pak Punang ya. Your presentation ya. There are 2 minutes 47 from panitia, from committee ya, just 10 minutes ya. Oke, Pak Punang ya. This is a conceptual framework Pak Punang ya, about the novelty is social technology use ya, social technology use ya, mediation between fit and viability to decision making performance ya. Oke Pak Punang, can you explain what the difference technology and technology in fit construct and IT infrastructure in viability? There is 2 terminology about technology in fit and IT infrastructure in viability. Can you explain what the difference technology and IT infrastructure in the difference construct?
Okay, thank you, Dr. Ika. So fit has to do with the task that is done using social technology. Fit has to do with what is being done with the technology itself, while viability has more to do with the ability of the organization to leverage social technology, to use social technology. So these are taking a look at it from different perspectives. So if an organization does not have the capability to use social technology, they don't know how to moderate it, they don't know how to use it, and they use it sparsely, they use it just in part of their decision making, but not in another part. That means that the organizational readiness maybe is not there yet. If they don't have the infrastructure for knowledge management, for instance, for storing the information that is shared in the social media, for instance, then it might not yet be viable. In terms of fit, if you are trying to make not every decision, we imagine not every decision would benefit from the use of social technology. And we are trying to find out what kinds of decisions would be best served using social technology. That's in the fit part.
Okay, what you plan about the object, your research, object of your research?
Right, thank you. So the object would be actually universities.
Oh,
right. And the level of the units would be at the level of the departments and also the bureaus, but basically more on the academic bureaus and institutes.
Okay, okay. Good idea, Pak Unang, ya, for this conceptual framework, ya. Thank you, ya. But all participant, ya, this time, ya, 20 and 30 minutes, ya. Maybe for Bu Fauzia, ya, I can move in the next session, Bu Fauzia, because committee, ya, this is time for break, ya, istirahat, sholat, ya.
It doesn't matter, Bu Ika. It doesn't matter.
Okay, okay, thank you, Bu Fauzia. We will to start in 13 o'clock. Oh, we will to continue the next session, Bu Fauzia. Ya.
Oh, I see.
The next session 3 participants, ya, because this session, ya, 3 participants, and the next session there are 3 participants. Okay, we can to start session 3. Okay, we will to entering session 3, ya. For session 3, there are 3.
Session 4 or
session 4? Session 4, ya. Session 4, there are 3 participants, Mbak Salma. Okay.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Stepping onto the following agenda is parallel session 4. This will be the last parallel session for today. Dear participants, for the breakout room invitation has been announced. Please enter each room that has been divided. Thank you.
social responsibility factor, status factor, and more. According to Ekman, there are 6 basic emotions. Fear is a part of the emotion. The increasing number of COVID-19 cases is creating fear of health and survival issues. Fear of COVID-19 affect investment decision, so that it affect the value of asset. How Google Search Volume Index can measure investor fear? The outbreak of COVID-19 created fear of health and survival problem caused by the virus. Public looking for online information about COVID-19. The higher is the web search volume relative to virus corona, the higher is the level of public fear. Investors are a part of a public looking for information online as part of their decision process. The previous research showed that fear index is good predictor of stock return. For example, Salisu and Akane 2020, Sabanianiam and Chakraborty 2021, and each other. Lee and Ho 2021 shows increased attention. Google Search Volume Index consistently reduced stock return in 3 stock markets, Botswana, Nigeria, and Zambia. Meanwhile, in Ghana and Tanzania, increased investor attention. Google Search Volume Index can increase stock returns. This study based on previous research measuring the fear index using the Google Search Volume Index and cases of COVID-19. This research has 2 hypotheses. The first, Google Search Volume Index have a negative effect on the return of Indonesia Sharia Stock Index. Second hypothesis, COVID cases has a negative effect on the return of Indonesia Sharia Stock Index. Data and methodology. The unit of analysis in this study is the Indonesia Sharia Stock Index, the COVID-19 cases, and the Google Search Volume Index. The type of data, secondary data, investor fear of COVID-19 based on the Google Search Volume Index from Google Trend, number of reported COVID-19 cases from March 2nd until August 30th, 2020, daily Sharia Index return obtained from Investing ID. The question is estimated by OLS regression with robust standard error by Stata 16. Variable measurement. Dependent variable and independent variable consist of ISAI returns, GII 70 returns, GII 30 returns, Google Search Volume Index, COVID cases, and control variable, return Sharia Index T-1 until return Sharia Index T-5, and this is a research equation. This is result of my research. Google Search Volume Index has a significant negative effect on ISSI and 2, 0, T+1, and T+5. When on that day, many people were worried, anxiety, fear about coronavirus. Many people search for information from Google with the keyword virus corona. The stock price decreased significantly at T0, T+1, and T+5. The number of COVID cases has a significant negative effect on T+1 and 2T+5. This is possible because at T0, T0, people are still waiting for the accumulation of COVID-19 cases that occurred on that day, so they react on T1 to T4. And most of the control variables are not significant. The result of the research is consistent with using GII 70 and GIR 30 objects. The last slide, conclusion. This study investigates the impact of COVID-19 fear on stock returns, fear of COVID-19 based on the Google Search Volume Index from Google Trend and COVID cases during the pandemic period from March 2nd to August 28, 2020. The results show that COVID-19 fear has a significant negative effect on Indonesia Sharia stock index returns. Google Search Volume Index have a negative effect on the return of Sharia stock index. COVID cases have a negative effect on the return of Sharia stock index. That is my presentation. Thanks for your attention. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you very much for Mrs. Andreasa for the presentation. It's very nice presentation. And now we will enter to the Q&A session. Any one of you that if you have the question, you can raise your hand and ask directly to Mrs. Andreasa. Any question? Any question related with the research from Mrs. Andreasa? Yeah, I think it's very interesting research, right? Because it's focusing on the updated event COVID-19 and the impact on the Sharia stock return. Okay, if there is no question, I have some question for Ms. Lela. And the first one is that you said you use that behavioral pricing method. And is there any difference with the pricing method that we already know before in finance? Sorry, you can unmute your.
Okay, I try to answer what difference between capital asset pricing model and behavioral asset pricing model. Capital asset pricing model, EPT, average pricing theory, 3-factor, 5-factor behavioral asset pricing model are an asset pricing model to predict stock returns. Capital asset pricing model, average pricing theory, 3-factor, 5-factor assume that investors are rational. The capital, for example, the capital asset pricing model developed by Sharp, Littner, and Mosin, based on capital asset pricing model, the return is influenced by risk in equilibrium market. Average pricing theory based on APT, the return is influenced by several other resources of risk, such as macro factor. For example, PDB, interest, inflation factor, and PAMA and Friends developed 3-factor and 5-factor. Stock return influenced by market factor and financial factor. And behavior asset pricing model assume that investors not only rational, but also normal. Normal investor have emotion that are the basis of the behavior in making decision that affect the value of asset. I think there is a difference between CAPM, EPT, three factor, five factor, and behavior asset pricing model. The point behavior asset pricing model, normal investor have emotion that is basis behavior making decision and affect the value of the asset.
Okay.
I
Okay.
think
So
like that.
yeah. So the main idea is behavioral is we consider about the behavior of investor. That's the behavior of investor. Yeah. One thing that that seems interesting to this research is yeah, you use the Google search to
Yeah.
measure about the fear of COVID-19. How can you do that? How did Google can measure on the fear of COVID? You use the maybe you search on the Google and you see that this is the some news about the COVID or something.
No. Google search volume index. My research use Google search volume index. Coronavirus information attract the attention of the public who are worried about the pandemic. Looking the information from Google, the largest and more popular search engines. But in China, not Google, but Baidu. But in Indonesia, use Google. For example, the keyword virus corona increase in March when WHO announced that the coronavirus become a global pandemic. The Google search volume index obtained those Google trends, so the volume of search query on the given topic for all searches within a given location and time period. For example, my research period for March 2nd until August 30th, Google search volume index standardized to be a ring of 0 until 100, where 100 indicates a very active search query. Google search volume index directly reflect public fear, attention, anxiety, and concern about the pandemic. Investor is part of public. Based on this, Google search volume index reflect the fear of the investor. I think like that.
Okay, that's right. So the basic idea you use like
Hello, my name is Titima Sipon from Department of Business Administration, Asia University, Taiwan. Today I'm gonna present effect of co-orientation on the relationship between work from home and happiness at work. COVID-19 has challenged physical health and mental well-being in the workforce, such as economic insecurity. And then this situation shifts towards the beginning of work from home. Work from home can effectively prevent pandemic infection from workers and related people. Work from home also provides flexible working options to keep employees happy and productive at work. Leaders may provide additional benefits and resources to support employees' physical and psychological well-being. There are two domains based on happiness at work, hedonic and eudaimonic. Hedonic happiness refers to pleasure, well-being, and job satisfaction. At the same time, eudaimonic happiness refers to the meaning of life or work. Co-orientation is concerned with employees' reason for engaging in various achievement behaviors in particular situations. Co-orientations impacts employee job satisfaction, leading to happiness at work. The objective of this study is to investigate the relationship between work from home and happiness at work, and a moderator role of co-orientation toward the relationship between work from home and happiness at work. This is a research model. Work from home is independent variable or predictor for this study. Happiness at work is dependent variable or predictor. Happiness at work is dependent variable or outcome variable for this study. Co-orientation is act as moderating variable. I propose 3 hypotheses for this study. Hypothesis 1, work from home has a significant effect on happiness at work. Hypothesis 2, co-orientation has a positive and significant effect on happiness at work. Hypothesis 3, co-orientation positively moderates the relationship between work from home and happiness at work. Multiple regression analysis is conducted to test hypothesis 1 to 3 to explore the moderating effect of co-orientation on the relationship between work from home and happiness at work. In the result, we start with Table 1, summary of descriptive, statistic, and correlation. Table 1 shows mean, standard deviation, and correlation of all variables. Work from home has a positive and significant correlation with happiness at work. Work from home has a positive and significant correlation with co-orientation. Co-orientation has a positive and significant correlation with happiness at work. It means that all variables have correlation with each other. Therefore, we can go further to multiple regression analysis to test hypothesis test. Hypothesis test, we will start with Table 2 model summary. Regarding Table 2, R value or multiple correlation is 0.610, it means that there is a correlation between the variables. R square shows that the independent variable can explain the total variation for the dependent variable equal 37.2%. Adjust R square is 36.6%. It can imply that work from home and goal orientation can predict happiness at work. 37.2%. Therefore, this model is good. Table 3, coefficient table. The result in Table 3 present that work from home has a positive and significant impact on happiness at work. Therefore, hypothesis 1 is fully supported. The result indicate that as work from home satisfaction increase, happiness at work tend to be increased. Goal orientation has a positive, significant impact on happiness at work. Therefore, hypothesis 2 is fully supported. This finding reveals that happiness at work tend to increase as goal orientation is increased. According to interaction effect, the product term of work from home and goal orientation has a significant and positive impact on happiness at work. Therefore, hypothesis 3 is fully supported. It means that goal orientation shows a moderating effect on the relationship between work from home and happiness at work. To further investigate the effect of goal orientation on the work from home and happiness at work relationship, I also use a scatter plot to analyze the relationship between work from home and happiness at work. Two regression lines, the blue and red lines. The red line represents the high level of goal orientation, and the blue line is the lower level of goal orientation. Comparing the two lines show the relationship change between work from home and happiness at work.
Okay, sorry. We will
Hi.
cut this video because this video spent more than 10 minutes.
Yes.
The presentation will be stopped.
Okay.
Okay, next, move to the question and answer session. Okay, is there any participant can provide their questions? Okay, my question is, Mrs. Pritima.
Yes.
Pritima, okay. I'm very interested with your topic about goal orientations. I have read the concept of Dweck. Dweck divide goal orientation into two categories. The first is learning orientation, and the next is
Performance goal orientation, right?
yes. Okay, I refer to the concept of Dweck. Dweck divide the concept of goal orientation two categories. The first is learning orientation, and the second is task orientation.
And that is your question, right?
Yes. I will move to my question. I will.
Yeah.
Okay. This only. Okay. Move to my question is based on, because you try to research about happiness and work at home to make the correlation between those variables, goal orientation. Okay, so my question is, when the situation such as pandemic COVID-19, which is the best for anyone to make a unique orientation, work or learning orientation?
Actually, it's like they are different between two goal orientation. For the learning goal orientation, it's gonna be like to improve the employee skill, and then try to go something like make them improve that skill by learning from the tasks that they do it. And then by actually for this one, organization can help them to improve like training, because sometimes like something that task perform maybe it's very difficult and actually detail from organization. But however, the good thing is for this kind of goal orientation is when employee have characteristic follow based on this goal orientation, they will feel like challenge for the difficult tasks, and then that it can improve the performance in the future, and they will not feel like scared of the failure, and they try to improve the performance by learning from the thing that part in the past, and then try to learn more to increase their competency. But for the group performance orientation is going to be like different. The thing that they want is to that they can increase that performance and organizational goals, and to make like maybe something like increase salary, or even get some job promotion. And this is different because for the group performance,
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Because time is over, so we have to move to the last presenter by Witra Abdi Yohanitas. Thank you so much, Miss Tritina.
Maybe Miss Novi, sir, for the presenter.
The presenter will be
Miss Novi.
Novi. Okay.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I would like to say thank you to ICOMS committee who has allowed me to present the result of the research that we have done in 2020 with the title Implementation of Talent Management for Civil Servant in Indonesia. Let me introduce myself. My name is Novisa Farhanti Farhani. I am from the National Research and Innovation Agency. This presentation will be divided into three parts, namely introduction, discussion, and conclusion. This article discuss the succession planning for civil servant, which is an important part of employee career development carried out in agencies and national, including planning, implementing, monitoring, and evaluating career development. The birth of Law Number 5 of 2014 on State Civil Apparatus or Undang-Undang ASN brought a new nuance in the human resource management system or HR apparatus and become a milestone in the history of change in the bureaucracy in Indonesia. One of the changes is to mandate the existence of a merit system where one of the criteria is that each agency is obligated to create a succession plan group. The results of succession plan group are part of the career development of civil servant or PNS and then enter to the state civil apparatus information system or SISN. The career development of civil servant has been regulated in Government Regulation Number 11 of 2017 concerning civil servant management or PP management PNS. That the career development of civil servants includes planning, implementing, and monitoring and evaluating career development carried out the agency and national levels. The benefits of the career development, especially for civil servants, are that first, improving the quality of civil servants also improves their performance because they realize their ability, strength, and weakness. Second, they are aware to civil servant needs, value, and desired goals in their organizations. Third, through a clear career pattern, PNS has the opportunity to realize a career in accordance with his ability. Fourth, the career will increase his self-esteem, pride, income, and contribution to the organization. Fifth, fostering in the
Inspiration of the regional term development plan draft. Conclusion education. The conclusion, the process determining of the Cimahi City Regional Development Planning document has been in line with Minister of Affairs Regulation Number 86 of 2017. Several factors we identified that were actually counterproductive and intended to interfere with the achievement of the goals and targets set. The 5 factors are the limited capacity of the state civil apparatus of Cimahi City government, who are not proficient in operating the planning application system yet, and low public awareness as evidenced by the number of people attending development plan deliberation, not optimal community participation in their participation at each stage of the activity, as well as visible from the lack of idea suggestion that are revealed, and the pattern of coordination between stakeholders that have not been synchronized, integrated, simplified, and executed properly, and the lack of local revenue, so that the Cimahi City government relies more on transfer funds from the central government, which costs a limited budget to accommodate the needs of public service in urban areas. Suggestion. Improvement to development problems can be made through administrative innovation, option, management innovation, policy innovation, social innovation, technological innovation, and frugal innovation. Thank you. Planning is bringing the future into the present so that you can do something about it now. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh ya. Ibu Melati Ayuning Pranasari ya. Is there relationship your research with Ibu Evi Mayar's research? Any relationship? Because Bu Evi Evimaya, ya, explore about sustainability innovation, ya, in 3 cities, ya, Bandung, Cimahi, and Banyuwangi. But your research just Cimahi City. Can you explain, Ibu Melati, atau?
Yes, yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the Ibu Evimaya Safira research is about the incubation innovation at the Cimahi cities. But in my research about the preparation of the regional medium-term development plan. So in here I just see how the Cimahi city create the regional medium-term development plan with the rules Permendagri number 86 of 2017 years.
Okay, there are some plan of development plan deliberation, ya, in Cimahi City, ya,
Yeah.
and the suggestion, ya, there are some innovation, ya, for Cimahi City. Can you explain what administration innovation, management innovation, etc. in Cimahi City?
Yes, in Cimahi City we need innovation about the because when they preparation the regional development planning, there is a limited local revenue and limited human resources, so they use technology, innovation technology to accommodate all to accommodate all ideas or suggestion from participant, and with the technology we can increase the number of people that attending in development plan deliberation, because when plan development plan deliberation a limited number of people attending, because use a manual meeting. So maybe with the innovation we use technology, maybe we can use a Zoom meeting to deliberation.
Okay, thank you, Ibu Melati. Time is finished for this session.
Thank you.
Thank you for all participants. Yeah, maybe there are some mistake from me. Yeah, I need apologies from all of you. Okay, thank you. Yeah, to finish this session, yeah, we can say lafaz basmalah. Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. Thank you, ya. We will join in main.
All of the participants, you can raise your hand or you can address the questions about the implementation of talent management in civil servant in Indonesia. Okay, my question is talent management program is different. The talent management program applied in a civil servant and a private company.
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. There's no difference between the scheme from the private company and then the public service, because we see the scheme from the private, and then we put it into the public service.
Okay, okay. I think time is enough, and we have to to move to.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the last agenda for today's International Conference on Management Science 2022. As the Master of Ceremony, I do apologize for my mistake in presenting this event. Let me close this session by reciting Hamdalah together. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. Ladies and gentlemen, after this you are invited to the opening of International Conference on Sustainable Innovation 2022. But before, let me close our International Conference on Management Science 2022 for today. And once again, I do apologize for my mistakes in presenting the event. See you tomorrow, and wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.